So this is going to have spoilers, obviously, by the way. I forgot to mention that, so I'm going to put this in the beginning of the video. Just like always, these always have spoilers, so I just want to warn you guys before you get too far into it. Hello! Welcome back to another reading log. Sorry, this one's a little late, but it was a busy Sunday. So, I read Fire Force, Volume 21. Arrow looks really cool on there, and then her Guardian looks pretty cool too. I think that's her Guardian anyways. His hair is a little different. He's got all these weird piercings though, so it might actually be somebody different. Anyways, they start to team up with Joker here to help break through the defense of the church and get through Burns. Burns starts to show off his fighting technique, which I think is really cool, how he gets warmed up as he keeps going, so that's stage 2 there. He's got stage 1 right over here, which is just like his normal stage. Anyways, I really liked to see them fight the other destroyers without use of, you know, Shinra and Arthur, because they're typically the two main powerhouses. But something I thought that was hilarious was this part right here, where they're trying to defeat Gold. So they have Tsubaki over here. They are melting down, or Tamaki. Tsubaki's from Soul Eater. Anyways, Tamaki they use to melt down like this stuff, and she's like mass iron. So they're using her tails to melt it down, but it's on her butt obviously. So she keeps saying, "What are you gonna do to my butt?" And so they keep heating her up, and eventually it works. But like, it's just as hilarious to watch them like just heat up her ass like that. I thought that was some of the funniest thing ever. Anyways, and then she comes running at them. I felt like this was a scene straight from Naruto. I feel like it's watching tailed Naruto like run after them with like a Baiju bomb or something like that. It was really cool. Eventually, they're able to shoot and kill Gold right in the forehead. I also like to see how Arthur came in right away and killed, and he's like, yeah, I fell off the car just like you guys all thought. And they show him in the back there falling off the car with the arrow. So that was great. But then Dragon comes down and he gets to fight Dragon, and I thought that was going to be really cool, so I can't wait for the next one. Overall, I really like this issue. I really like to watch Burns and Joker fight. I'd just like to see what more and more what Lich and Joker are up to. They're very interesting. I also liked how they showed the moon off here, and I'm like, oh shit, is there going to be some Soul Eater crossover? Like, that's the Soul Eater moon. So is there madness about, like, what the heck's going to happen here? So I can't wait to see what happens in Fire Force even more so. I also read I'll Give It My All Tomorrow. Did not realize this was a 5-volume series. I only have the first 2. Should not have read this until I got the others, but I did. Anyways, it's a nice story. You know, it's drawn very crudely, but I think that's obviously intentional. The main character wants to become a manga artist. He quits his job of being an employee in the office for a while. He works in the office for like 15 years and he quits. He has a daughter and his dad, and he lives with his dad. And he keeps saying he's gonna get totally serious. There's a few color pages. He plays video games, smokes all day, goes to like brothels and things like that. The guy is like totally aimless. The reason he quit was so he could explore and find himself in life. But he hands off some good life lessons. This is like Great Teacher Onizaka, except if Onizaka never became a teacher and just like lived an aimless life. He fights with God in in one of his dreams, which is hilarious. And you can see him there. But eventually they tie and they say they're sorry. So that was pretty good. He keeps trying to, he works at this burger place, so he keeps trying to act cool, but he's not that cool. Everybody calls him the manager because he's older, but he's actually sub-leader now. So that means he's really kind of lower rank. Anyways, it can be kind of hard to see what's going on. Like, I wasn't sure how much of this was like a flashback. He finds this girl while this is just like totally random. Anyways, he finds this girl while he's taking a piss here in the woods, and she's about to kill herself, and he's like, and then he leaves because she sees him pissing. Anyways, and then he tells her not to kill herself, so she doesn't, and that kind of a thing. Anyways, it's a pretty good manga, you know. It's seriously just like if Onizaka never like found his way to become a teacher and just lived an aimless life. So it's definitely worth a read if you have any interest in it. It's pretty funny. You just kind of see his life go by like one step at a time, and how he like gets frustrated with the manga, he gives up, and then he tries again since something else inspires him. He has this editor who's always telling him he's doing great and like his work is amazing, but every time he submits, he gets like denied instantly. So obviously his work's not that great, but you don't get to read it at all, so that's kind of too bad. But it still is interesting to read about. I also read Quintessential Quintuplets number 7. I keep on going through with this series. This one was pretty good. I feel like this has been on a much better pace since they separated from the house. They take their finals and they all pass. That was great. I don't remember this being too much funnier though. It was more of just like, you know, character driven. So it was cool to see how the girls are progressing in their studies and everything like that. You can tell they're definitely trying harder. They're doing better. It was interesting though to see how do you say his name? Futaro. Blah. Anyways, it was interesting to see how Futaro actually did not do super good on his exams, but he obviously still did beat them. And at the end, there's also the confrontation with the dad here, which I thought was cool too. Anyways, I'm still pretty much thinking that Itsuki's going to be the one to marry him, but at the end here, Nino says that she loves him, so maybe it'll be Nino, but I doubt it. Anyways, it was still a really good read. You also get to see some backstory on the mother, which was interesting. But yeah, definitely getting better, more interesting. I like how the plot's kind of developing more, so that was good. Next, to Kuroko's basketball. The first one, it has the finishing of the flashback here, so you can see how he gets the second eye. He gets the second eye from, you know, almost losing a round against the giant, but he ends up winning at the last second because he has that split personality. Then he says he's always had this split personality, and that was just like the catalyst to awaken him, so that was pretty cool, I suppose. They also show how the friend gets totally out of basketball, and the reason was because, and it's kind of messed up, they wanted to have the scoreboard say 1-1-1-1-1, and so that was like pretty messed up. But yeah, it was still a really good read. Eventually it gets back out of the flashback. They do a little bit of a training warm-up and a hype-up for the game against Rakuzan, and then Rakuzan, you get to kind of meet the characters, which is interesting. And Kagami starts right off in the zone, which I thought was really cool, and they mentioned that Kagami figured out how to trigger the zone, so that makes it pretty cool. But also Emperor Eye kind of can still beat him in the zone, which is wild. So Kagami stands no chance outside of the zone, at least for now. But, you know, they develop in the middle of the game typically, so we'll see what happens. There's also a lot of cool characters in here, too, that are introduced that you get to see more of in the next one, 27 to 28. You've got one guy who dribbles the ball with, like, less fingers because he wants to give them a handicap, see if they can work their way up to him having 5 fingers. You also get to have the second 6-man guy show up here. That's him right there. He's really cool. Wait, is that? No. Sometimes I get tripped up. That's the second sixth man. This guy's the guy that likes to use, you know, less fingers. So this guy's the one that he got replaced. He's replacing Kuroko on Akashi's team. So once he's on that, then, you know, Kuroko is no longer able to use his shadow ability, which is really cool. They say it's because Kuroko got too good after the last game they played, and that everybody has their eyes on him. And so that's an interesting take on Kuroko, you know, and his skills. Another cool thing is how Hyuga actually you know, you get to learn more about Hyuga here. This guy has been like his idol for basketball, you know, so he's an uncrowned king, Ryu, and he's like a total effeminate man, so he's probably gay. I think he's like hitting on Hyuga like most of the time. But Hyuga, like, he hates effeminate men, but he loves this guy's basketball, so he like models his game after him. But he can't beat him because, you know, he's like a cheap imitation of him. Another cool thing was this guy here. His name's Nuya, and actually what happened was he lost to Iron Will in the past, and Iron Will said that you can't win with muscles, you know, you just need to get some technique and you'll be awesome. So Nuya took that as, I need to get even stronger, which I thought was hilarious. So he got even stronger. Now he's like a huge beast. And that was awesome to see him turn into that like huge beast and just like shut down Iron Will's philosophy. The last thing that I thought was really cool was Hawkeye is able to use you know, his ability to shut down the guy with the 5 fingers, the lightning speed guy. And so in order to do that, he can see the whole play and kind of plan accordingly. But eventually Kuroko gets to come back in. Kuroko is able to find a new pattern for his misdirection. But, you know, it's still interesting to see Mayuzumi and Kuroko kind of fight each other here with their misdirection fight. I can't wait to see more of them. You know, the next one's the last one, so I guess there's not much left. But also, it was just cool to see how Kagami has the ability to use the zone and also use his wild instinct. So now he can do that. He's just turned into Ultra Instinct Goku, like, confirmed now. But yeah, that's the lightning guy. He's the guy with the dribbles. He dribbles the ball with like 4 fingers, 3 fingers, and then 5 fingers. Hawkeye's on him, and he's able to keep track of him and kind of manipulate where he's going. But he's got really awesome art, so when he dribbles the ball, it goes so fast, there's lightning everywhere, which I think looks really cool. But see, Eagle Sphere can shut him down, but not quite, but it puts him into the zone here. There's a nice scene, which I probably already passed, of Kagami kind of shutting him down thanks to his help. Yeah, right there. Here we go. So it's kind of like Byakugan actually here. So he says, you just walked into the Wild Beast Lair. And then Kagami just shuts the guy down. So that was really cool. And slowly we get to see Rakuzan, you know, being unable to widen the gap, which is nice. So eventually Saren starts to catch up, decrease the lead from 20. Now it's 16 Rakuzan's up by. So I can't wait to see the King's rebuttal, the Emperor's rebuttal. Emperor Eyes obviously got more to it than they're showing off right now, but I just don't know what. So for next week, what I'm going to do is obviously finish up Kuroko. This is the last omnibus volume, 29 and 30. So I'll be finishing Kuroko this week. I'm also going to pick up Blue Exorcist again, 12 and 13. I've only got 2 volumes I'm probably going to be able to read these 2 volumes next time, but we'll see. And also, because I'm planning on finishing Kuroko's basketball, I'm going to start my next Big Boy set. So I've got Neon Genesis Evangelion 1, 2, and 3. It's a 3-in-1. I'm actually already a third of the way through it. I was just flipping through pages and then I accidentally started reading it, so whoops. But in any case, I've been waiting for them to come in, so now that I have them all, I pretty much could hardly contain myself, and I had to start reading it, just like I said I was gonna. So the next omnibus series I'm going to read is obviously Neon Genesis. There's only 5 omnibuses. One of them is a 2-in-1 also instead of a 3-in-1. So I should be able to read it much faster than I read Kuroko's. The one after that is going to be Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, which I've also been dying to read ever since I got the whole set of it and I finished Spirit Circle. He's a really good author, so I can't wait to get into it. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope everyone has a nice weekend. And again, if you want to read along, that's what I'm going to read. And yeah, that's it. Leave a comment, like, post, whatever you do on these YouTubes these days. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.